Happy shores where shadows play. The alley whispers night and day. In abomination, alley's grip, where fear and danger tightly knit. Oh, the alley breathes a tale untold of secrets dark and hearts grown cold. Abbey streets, they'll pull you in to the depths where sin begins.
Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Abomination Alley, our BRP actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Eric playing Michael, Jeremy playing Salvador, and Carr playing Teak. Who remembers where we left off last week?
A lot of bullshit happened.
Mm-hmm. A lot did happen.
But did anything happen that you didn't bring on yourself? That's what I thought.
Technically.
Well, not really.
Mm-hmm.
Now we just need Carr to say a maybe, and then we're golden.
Could be, maybe.
There we go.
All right.
Sarah's power's back, giving Router a second to realize it's a router again.
Woo.
Well, good then. I was hoping she'd be on here for too much longer.
Now we just have to tangent until she's here.
Well, we can do the review. So let's see. We started off with Michael driving away from a big gunfight between the orc mob and Cletus Manrender, a troll from out of town.
Peak was driving too.
Yep. Streaking
Had
across
to
town.
turn around.
Past each other. Didn't calmly turn around.
No.
Just
but
threw a Yui, smashed up the back end of his car a little bit.
kept going.
Yes. Michael, I think, went through most of the session having some sort of existential crisis.
And a panic attack.
Yeah.
Maybe panic attack is a little more what it was.
Yeah. Mostly the panic attack, because...
So he went by the police station to... the precinct to kind of tell the captain how he was involved in this. But the captain wasn't there. So he wound up giving a report on the your first encounter with the troll and saving the two dwarven children he had taken.
Mm.
Let's see. There was some hanging out and conversing amongst yourselves
Yeah.
about how poorly this whole operation had gone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She lives.
Excellent.
Maybe.
And
Yeah, I was getting my headset back on.
Hey.
7 o'clock is the most convenient time, apparently, to just trim dead vines off a power pole.
well, when else would you do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Hang on just 1 second.
In reality, I was just trying to keep us from being on time. That way we don't get the on-time curse.
That only happened once. Once is happenstance.
Once is happenstance, twice is circumstance, 3 times is enemy action.
I think the second time was coincidence, but either way.
Yeah, coincidence, that's right.
It's happenstance,
Happenstance,
coincidence, enemy
coincidence,
action.
then enemy action.
or you can be like my work, and it's like coincidence, tradition, and it's like, oh, God, no, don't ever make it a tradition in your second go around.
Tradition.
Be prepared. Wait.
Nope. They are way too litigious.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We do not want that voodoo on us.
I'm just
Yeah.
stalling until I can get the cameras rearranged.
Ah, yes, Vivian is Teak.
Yeah, I've got that fixed now.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I was just laughing.
All right. So anyway, Sarah, we were just going over the review from last time.
Fantastic.
Great googly moogly. It's all gone to shit.
Yep.
I think we wrapped up, and
Hey, the dwarves sort of like us.
Wrapped up with Teak walking
Because they
into
don't
the
know.
And
Orc
Oh.
hotel.
speaking of the dwarves, Sarah did get a call back from the Brewers Guild. They are interested in your, intra-gang
All right.
powwow to settle this stuff. Hadn't heard back from the Orc Mob yet, but Teak heard from the Orc Mob.
Mm-hmm. Teak is walking in, as
You
they
can ask
say.
him.
And I believe the appointment was for the next day.
Mm-hmm. Teak was already at the Beorn, our base of operations, drinking cups of coffee, and he was 4 down before he left.
Yeah, basically ended off with Teak heading to talk to the orcs, Michael heading to talk to the police, Vivian glaring at the phone and sitting in the office, debating on doing horrible things.
And what was Salvador up to?
Fuck, I don't
Salvador
know.
had disconnected.
yeah,
Oh,
we don't know
yeah.
what Salvador was up to.
That's a good question. You tell me what Salvador's up to.
Can come with Michael.
I
Follow
think that's
Teak.
probably. Yeah.
I
I
thought
don't
somebody
know.
had talked about following Teak, but I don't remember who it was.
Vivian was.
Vivian
That was
had, and then she
Vivian.
got kind of talked out of it.
Oh, okay.
Teak did not say you couldn't follow him. He just said, I just want you to be safe. That's all he said.
There's also, following somebody to where their bosses are at. Probably not good.
I'm sure it would be fine. There's great relationships between the elves and the orcs.
Mm-hmm.
I think Salvador is not gonna follow Michael. Is gonna probably just going to hang out in the general vicinity of that apartment complex. Not there itself, but just in the general vicinity, just in case Teak needs covering fire.
In case you see them hauling him out of the building with cement shoes on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fair
Lake
enough.
Superior is awful deep. I'm just saying.
He's gonna be he's gonna be like not across the street, but like kind of around in an area where he can kind of see the front door.
Okay.
Somewhere in the neighborhood where he can do that.
All right. Give
It's,
me.
I was gonna say I have a question here
Mhm.
that might be here. Is there a strange folk in this neighborhood, like in like a residential property that is owned by a strange folk that I can maybe see watering plants or something in the front yard?
It's February.
That isn't an orc? Is that what you're asking?
No. I don't care if they're an orc or not. I figured the orcs that are involved are in the apartment complex. I don't care. So I don't care if they're orc or not.
Well, let's see. That's not the only. Let's see. It's mostly apartments on this street, but there's a few townhouse type setups.
Mm-hmm.
Not really anybody just hanging around outside because,
Probably
like Vivian
smart.
said, it's February.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you could probably catch somebody stepping out to get the mail or something.
Yeah. I'll just catch like specifically a strange folk out to get the mail. I'm like, excuse me. Hey, I'm one of the Beorn.
Ooh, we almost need a fame roll or something.
Yeah.
Give me a
There-
luck roll.
Well,
I
there
will roll
is
luck.
a there is
Oh,
a skill
gosh, yeah.
specifically for status.
Is there?
I don't have a whole lot of status right now.
All I know is it exists.
Salvador. Is that a luck roll?
Yeah, just give me a luck roll.
Yep. Oh, there is a status. There sure is. All
We
right.
shall investigate
I
that
like the
later.
luck. I like the luck roll better. I looked at my percentage on status. I like my luck roll better.
Fair enough.
Failure. I want to be the first person to spend a PowerPoint to re-roll that.
All right. And let's
Hey,
go over those rules just briefly.
Yep.
may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, so sometimes you and your game master are not willing to let the results of the roll be the ultimate arbitrator of your character's destiny. Yeah, that's awful wording.
Yep.
Let's just skip down. Spend 5 power points to re-roll any percentile roll desired. This can be declared after the initial roll is made, though the results of the second roll are final.
Yep.
And
There we go.
success with this re-roll does not earn an experience check.
It's a stat roll anyway, so whatever.
Oh, that's fair.
All right. So I've spent my 5. I'm down to 7. Luck again. Success.
Nice.
Success.
Hey,
I think what happens is Salvador's like because it's like overcast or something. Like his shadow looks weird, and then he comes into the light. Oh, it's like, oh yeah, I remember. I was there when you drew.
Or maybe there was a picture of you in the paper.
Yep.
You've been involved in a couple
We
of
did
things
just
at this point.
shoot up a slaughterhouse. Yeah. I'm one of the Beorn. My name is Salvador.
I read about you in the paper.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Let's see, what would this guy be? You said you were specifically looking for strange folk.
Specifically strange folk, but I'm not picky on what kind it is,
What kind it is? Wow, what a way to talk about
what kind they are.
All right. We'll have to come up with a random roll list.
Sure.
I mean, not right this very moment, but at some point too. For random civilians.
Yep.
All right. It is a dwarf.
Oh, now who's using it? Cool.
I'm not the one that's supposed to be the hero.
He goes, hi, my friend was in that apartment complex over there down the street, and I know. So I was wondering if I could just kind of make sure everything's safe. I just want to look through the window from your house, from inside your beautiful house.
Oh, well, thank you.
I don't want to
And
be
I
a
guess
bother.
you could see that building sitting in the bay window. I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm
just
not a
want to
robber.
make sure he's safe and
do
gets back.
you
gets out in
have
peace.
your rifle strapped to your back?
I have it. We got a duffel bag for it.
That's
last
right.
session.
You got the duffel bag. Okay. So give me a persuasion.
Sure.
Based on that luck
Okay.
roll and them recognizing you for being famous, I will give you a plus 10% on it.
Okay. Could this be command? I'm looking at the different skills. I don't see a persuasion.
Possibly so. Let me.
Oh, there is a persuade.
Yeah,
There is a persuade.
Good. I
But
thought there was,
okay.
but you know.
Okay. So
Certainly hope so. I use it.
success. Boop.
Oh, I was probably just shy of something of a special.
Would you say it was plus? You were adding something to it because he recognized me.
10%.
10%. Okay, so 65. That's just shy. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, 65.
60. If it's 65, then I rolled it. Or sorry, if it's
It would be 65. You would need a 13 for it to be a special.
13. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, he invites you on in. You step to the front door. The living room is right there. The little bay window is in the living room. They've got their big radio over in the corner. One of those big wooden cabinet ones that stands like 4 feet tall.
My dad.
He
my dad had one of
closes a
those.
a closet that has a keg in it.
Once the door's shut, he's like, is your friend tangled up with the folks that live over there?
Unfortunately, but I think he's just gonna be in and out. Hopefully. So this is why I want to make sure he comes out, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I try to avoid anybody over in that area.
I don't blame you.
Not that they cause any trouble around here, but
Oh, sure. They don't cause trouble. They wouldn't cause trouble close to home, for sure.
can I get you some coffee?
If you have, he almost says tea, and then he doesn't. He says, "I'll just take water." He's like, dwarf probably doesn't have tea. Doesn't have tea. Probably couldn't brew a good one. It's like, I'll just take a water.
Does whiskey rocks count?
So he brings you water.
Specific dietary needs for tea. Has to taste like my mom made it.
With 1,200 cups of sugar.
So you want a little tea with your syrup.
Y'all are living up north. I don't know how much of a thing sweet tea is up there.
Exactly. I don't.
Having been to Minnesota, it's not.
Yeah.
Sweet tea is Lipton's brisk.
Brisk, yeah. It's all bad.
We've got unsweetened tea. You can just put sugar in it, right? No, that's no.
That's not what that is. Yeah, he'll just sip the water and kind of spot or scope things out.
The dwarf stands over there in the window with you.
Hmm.
He's like super curious as what's going on.
I'll start describing him. He's a wonderful driver. He has one of those like driver's caps.
Question is how long has this dwarf lived here?
Oh. But he does driving, and I think that's how he got mixed up in all of this. Everyone wants a getaway driver, right?
Yep. Or bootleggers need drivers.
So yeah, he'll keep watch.
So y'all keep watch, and he talks to you about what happened to the slaughterhouse. He chews the fat with you.
Yeah. He'll like Salvador will go into detail about it, not necessarily like gory details about shooting people up or whatever, but he'll talk about like this is straight out. This is a creature straight out of what my mom would tell me if I didn't clean my room. They'll get me. Yep. It was a little freaky to see it, but I mean they're real, I guess.
What does it mean that they're
What does it mean that they're showing up then?
What do you say?
He's like, I wonder what it means that they're showing up. That that they've actually they're showing up. I mean, you hear rumors and stories about it all the time, but we've actually got bodies. I don't think that's ever happened before.
I hate to think what people are doing to call these things into reality.
Had to be humans.
I don't
think any of the strange folk would be dumb enough to do that.
I don't think so either.
We should never have let them learn magic.
There's a passing thought to Michael as he says that.
He don't know no magic.
You don't know magic, but he's got other kinky stuff.
Uh,
Should have never learned magic. I mean, I guess he could. He was forcibly taught that. I don't know.
so I'm going to
You don't
assume that
know
you
if
hit
he
it out
knows any-
ahead of Teak. You know, you get there.
He's got knowledge of. You don't know he's got any powers.
He's just got the power of the law. So yeah, y'all are sitting there when the Model Teak pulls up.
Teak pulls in, goes inside.
Uh,
Doesn't acknowledge anyone else, just goes straight to the receptionist.
Salvador, you and your dwarf buddy Dale.
Ale?
Dale.
Dale. Okay. It's like that's a little on the nose, even for you, Jason.
Dwarf friend, Brewski.
Lager.
I'm stealing that.
Dale Brewster.
You're welcome.
Dale Brewster. Got it.
It's like at least a little bit of inspiration there.
He may or may not eventually become a NASCAR driver.
But so you see the Model T. The dwarf makes a comment on, when the little kobold gets out with the cat.
Mhm.
Oh, is that your buddy?
Yeah, that's him. I guess he wasn't in yet, but well, that's him
would've-
going
I
in.
would've-
We're gonna make sure he gets out.
Would have thought he had a. I'd have thought a driver would have a more modern car.
Having been in that car, it's very effective.
Oh, maybe he souped it up, but keeps so it. But souped up an old
He's-
car so people wouldn't expect anything.
He's got one of those weird like cranks, and it's very interesting watching him to like.
Not even an electric start. Wow.
Some people yearn for the classics, and I mean it works for him. He's a very talented driver.
Yeah.
This is one failure at driving.
Yes,
Well,
so he's
luckily
a
the way
very
you
talented
park, the
driver.
banged up side is on the opposite side. So
There's just a missing
dent-
like
what's that dent doing
light
there?
in the. It's fine.
all right, Teak, you're walking in.
Oh.
One of the guards, as soon as he sees you, the boss is expecting you.
No, it's
Nobody else in the room says a word.
just if he says that, he's going straight to the elevator. He's not even acknowledging the receptionist.
That's okay. She's trying not to look directly at you.
Mm-hmm. Goes up.
Yeah, you get in the elevator. Little bellhop runs you to the top. It opens up. You see a couple of guards.
Yep.
One of them steps forward, holds out his hands.
Yep. Sets his weapons down.
Probably be disarmed by now.
The other one steps forward and gives you a quick pat down.
Yep.
It's been
Nothing
quite a
on him.
while. It's been quite a while since any of them patted you down.
Mm-hmm.
And one of Marduk's. This guy wouldn't be a guard. This guy's probably more of a pencil pusher. But he comes back and he leads you back. Into Marduk's office. You've been there before. Now, there's a couple of guards, or a couple of other, a couple of men, well, orcs, standing in a couple of corners of the room. Marduk waits a second to acknowledge you. Does not offer you a seat.
It's fun.
Teak, explain to me how you came to bring a troll's vehicle to one of our shops. The troll that we're pretty sure now was killing my men, and you were trying to help him get out of town.
I don't know anything other than I was asked to fix a vehicle. I
Who
was told
asked
it
you?
was a troll. My other compatriots. All I know is that I was asked to fix a vehicle. I was told that it needed to happen fast, and I knew the orcs would be able to get it done fast.
All right, he nods. Where are your compatriots now?
Spread out. Where exactly, I don't know.
Hmm.
Vivian at the office staring at the phone.
Hmm.
I think I'm going to need to have a little meeting with your friends. They were already trying to set up a meeting between me and the Brewers Guild.
Yep.
But I think we need to resolve this little business first. I need to know
If anything,
what they knew.
what I can only assume, and he's not calling him boss, he's not calling him sir either. He's basically saying, and the only thing I can assume is they were trying to stop the bloodshed and get whatever was killing your boys out. That's the only thing I can assume. And if that's the case, I don't know how many orcs you lost, but sending orcs against a troll without proper weaponry is already an idiotic move.
Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. I thought Teak was going to be a coward.
No, he's standing up. He's like, I do not work for you anymore. I'm going to say what I want to say because it is my life. And if I'm wearing Siemens shoes after this, so be it.
All right, give me. Would that be command? Etiquette?
Fast talk.
This
Whatever
is
you
really
tell
fast
me
talk.
to do, whatever you tell me to do is going to probably fail.
PowerPoints. You can try and roll good and then pass out.
It'd be a charisma. He's like, I can't believe this little guy just said that.
That's true.
I'm debating between command and etiquette.
Not really trying to tell him what to do. Maybe just pointing out that it was.
It was a
Horrible
stupid,
idea.
idiotic move.
It's less about what he's saying. It's more in the timbre that he's saying it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's probably why it would be like command.
But
Fair enough. Fair enough.
At least if it was me running the BRP.
I'm also thinking etiquette because there's something about orc culture that he's kind of tapping into, even though I know the player wouldn't know it.
Hey, go for it.
Yeah.
So
Would the teak know it though?
well, that's the trick. Yeah, the character probably would.
Now I'm curious.
I can only assume pride is a major factor in orc culture, but
Etiquette or charisma. You know, this is more of a
Make it a
raw.
combined roll.
Go with charisma. Give me a charisma roll based on.
sure.
We'll go with a stat roll.
Normal roll?
Because it's just your how you're
Fuck it, I'll
presenting.
spend a
close.
PowerPoint. I'll spend a PowerPoint.
Go unconscious.
Well, I believe it
You have to
costs
spend-
5.
You have to spend 5
Oh.
to reroll.
Oh, well, never mind then. I would go unconscious if I did that, so never
Yeah,
mind.
exactly.
So, failure 50.
Oh,
We
that's
tried.
right. We did have that whole discussion on how your pal is.
My
Where's
POW
your
is
low?
5.
Yep. Okay, but it wasn't a failure, or it was. I mean, it was a failure. It was not a critical
It wasn't a
fumble.
he-
It was a
fumble.
critical failure.
So you try to sound bold, but there's a little bit of stuttering in there, a little bit of stumbling over your words.
No. There's no stuttering. he's just pointing out the obvious, and whether Boss Marduk believes him or not doesn't matter. That's just Teek's thoughts.
One of the guards steps forward and backhands you, or is going to attempt to backhand you.
Okay, he's going to stand his ground.
All right, so he's just going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then give me a. They don't call it a strength roll, whatever the one next
Stamina?
to strength is. Yeah, give me a stamina roll.
Effort or stamina? Because effort is strength and stamina is con.
Effort. It would be whichever one you want. Either one of them.
55 success. He's just going to take it. Standing his ground.
All right. Okay, that was not a great roll. So, you take a slap across the face. You don't go flying, you don't... it's just kind of like... Ugh. Marduk's kind of like, wait. Bold of you to come in speaking to me that way. I can respect that to some degree, even if it might be foolish in your shoes. Arrange a meeting. Before I agree or refuse your invitation to speak with the Brewers Guild, I need to have a meeting with your group. It can be somewhere. It can be somewhere neutral. Maybe in the lawyer's office. He got
nice try,
he got
but
a bit of
no.
a smirk when he says that.
And Teek just says nice try, but no.
You have the number for here, I'm sure.
Yep.
All right. I believe you as far as what you say you knew or didn't know. Go talk to your friends. And call back today and leave a message, and we'll set up a meeting time.
Doesn't nod, doesn't say anything, just turns around, spits on the guard who slapped him's boot, and walks out.
Holy shit.
Teek is a stone cold MFer.
Yeah, he is.
There's a little blood in there too, but
I think Salvador is like talking to this dwarf. Is like, so do you have a partner, like wife, kids?
Oh no, he lost his wife a while back.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Hey, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, he tells you it was Spanish flu.
Yeah, that was rough. I was where it kind of really popped off. So.
Oh, you must
So
have been in the
I
war
would
then.
explore- Oh yeah, I served. I was a rifleman, and you kind of like. Yeah. But, me and one of me and a few of the others in the Beorn have served in the war.
That
Just
explains how you
putting
can
that
handle those
together.
monsters.
Well, I feel like the familiarity really did that. Like, oh, this is almost cathartic. You know? And then he sees Teak come out, presumably.
Yeah. Just as the dwarf tried to tell you about his time in the army.
Mm.
He was in the Spanish-American War. And then, as he stops kind of and says, "Oh, I think I see you, little buddy."
Yep, there he is. He's not wearing cement shoes, so I assume.
Yeah, from
His
the
face.
distance you are, he looks no worse for wear.
Oh,
Someone do a snipping tool. No.
too late.
I'm
Too
on
late.
it.
I'll have to get the clip. Anyway, you froze out on us.
Oh, at what point?
From the distance.
From
Oh, yeah.
From the
I did
very
drop-
beginning of what you were saying.
I did drop down the red. I said, from this distance, Teak looks none the worse for wear.
Okay. All right. Well. And he'll look at you and say he'll look at you said his name was
Dale.
Dale.
Dale. He goes, oh, Dale, thank you for your service here today and your service in the previous conflicts, obviously.
Oh, yeah, and yours.
May this be the most interesting thing that happens today.
He seems surprised. Like that's an odd thing to say, but he thinks about it for a second, kind of nods his head. Yeah, I don't think I want to get into some of the interesting stuff that you're getting into.
Exactly. He pats him on the shoulder. He's like, he'll give him like $10 for his trouble or something.
No, I couldn't take that.
You sure?
You're fighting monsters on behalf of the people of the city. I gave you a cup of water and let you sit around for a while. Don't worry about it.
Clip it. Dang it.
Once again, you cut out.
I heard you're fighting monsters in the city.
He said you're fighting monsters in the city. I gave you a cup of water and let you sit around for a little bit. Don't worry about it.
All right. Till we meet again. And he'll take his leave. He'll kind of like go try to catch up pretty quickly. And head over like, hey, Teak, is that you?
Teak's in a car.
Teak will be like,
no, he has, I assume he hadn't gotten out yet. Or gotten into the car, rather.
I mean, Teak would have to start it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. You go out, you open the door, you get the crank out. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So you hear from half a block away.
Teak
lifts up and looks.
You see Salvador.
Hey, Salvador. And just continues cranking.
Hey, buddy, you good?
Yep, just fine. Want to ride?
Yeah, but okay. And he puts his duffel bag in the back seat and hops in.
Starts the car, gets in. This is about the time you probably see like a little bit of blood, probably pouring down from his cheek.
Well, you might have wiped it off, but the lip over there is a little swollen anyway.
Yeah. You good? What happened? You're not good if this is happening. What's going on?
You'll find out. And he just drives away.
I'll find out.
So
just drives away.
Teak's very silent. It's just silent.
Right, I've got my rifle right here.
Oh, trust me. I about bit somebody's privates off, so we're gonna keep going.
Teak is at the perfect height for that too.
Mm-hmm. Got the extended jaw kind of thing. Yeah, it'd be
Gator roll with it.
Hello?
Oh!
We'll have to ask you to stop now.
I hate that. I hate that.
We're just driving silently to
I
the.
hate that.
We're
driving
changing
silently
scenes.
to the Beorn. Yep.
Michael,
driving away.
Fair.
Yes.
You were headed over.
What's the term of service for Twitch?
You were headed over to the police precinct, I believe.
Yeah, the Windburn precinct.
You're very familiar with this place.
I know it's not that. I think I keep putting an unneeded D in there.
Yeah, you do. So yeah, you're very familiar with the precinct at this point. You walk up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a desk sergeant. Probably the same desk sergeant you saw the first time you were here.
Yeah.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes. Is the captain free at the moment?
Let me check. I know I saw him come in. Who should I say is?
Mr. Anderson.
That's right. We've met before.
We have.
Oh, so you're heading back to the captain's office.
Yes.
You get back there. The captain's sitting behind his desk. He's just looking over a few things. Mr. Anderson, please have a seat.
Captain. He takes a seat.
Coffee?
Please, yes.
He
This is
pours
going
you
to
up
be
a
a
cup.
long
He's
discussion.
already poured himself one. He pours you one. Slides across the table to you. Sorry I missed you when you were in here yesterday, but we had quite a commotion going down across town, or across the
I understand, Captain.
neighborhood. So what was it you needed to talk to me about?
That commotion across town, actually.
The troll, and a bunch of dead orcs.
Yes. Have you received the report that myself and two of my companions encountered him
Oh, is there anything else you can tell us about him?
Nope.
You know, my work with the DA's office, I pride myself on being honest with people and keeping my word the best I can.
Admirable. And I'll be honest, I've asked around about you. That seems to be people's opinion of you.
As such, this is why when I tell you that when in the heat of the moment and out of absolute terror of having a gun that is larger than me pointed at me, I said whatever I had to get those kids, myself, and my friends out alive.
Okay, what exactly did you say that you feel like you need to come and talk to me about it?
I feared for myself and those with me, as well as any further violence that might escalate should the troll remain in town longer. So in the heat of the moment, I told him I would get in contact with a mechanic I knew to fix his car to get him out so the violence stops.
So you tried to help a murderer flee the city.
That was not my thought process at the time, but things as they stand, that is how it can also be read.
So this thing's truck was broken down, and your
And-
friend fixed it.
Yes. From what I was able to get out of him, he was stuck here and was attacking anyone who got too close to him. And my thought process was if we got him out of the city, then the violence ends. And I wasn't sure, I haven't seen enough of your precinct. I wasn't sure how even a troll would be contained. This is my first experience with one.
We have large cells. We could probably have thrown him in.
Okay,
I'm
I will.
going to have to
That
report
a
this to the DA's office, of course.
I understand.
You should have come to us. What you said in the heat of the moment to get those children out of harm's way, I have no issues with. You should have come to us directly after that.
I understand.
When we got the call yesterday, we didn't know what was going on other than there was a shootout. We thought it was more orc dwarf violence. Now, I'm not saying that we would have had a plan for a troll, but it would have been nice if my men had known when they were going in what they were facing. Maybe I wouldn't have one busted up in the hospital. He pauses, like he's calming himself slightly. Do you have any idea why this troll was in town?
Scroll.
I don't believe it ever came up.
No.
You knew he was,
Can you tell? I thought he. Sorry, go ahead.
You knew he was in his pa's truck.
He said he was. Well, what he said was he was just passing through, and the truck broke down.
Okay.
From what he told me, he was just passing through the city, and the truck broke down in the middle of the road. In fact, he was not supposed to even spend any length of time within the city at all.
Yeah, maybe we don't have to worry about it coming back then. But in case you didn't already know, it escaped the conflict last night. Busted up one of my men when he drove up, smashed through a couple of the cars that they had parked at the end of the alley.
Mm-hmm.
We lost him when he hit the back roads. We weren't able to find him again. We're not even sure where he exited the city at, or if he had actually left the city though. With what you're telling me now, hopefully he has. I don't like the idea of him getting away, but maybe he'll be somebody else's problem now.
Yeah,
Of course, if you told us ahead of time, maybe we could have gone in there with, I don't know, something. I'm sure somebody around here knows how to deal with trolls.
His fingers just kind of drum on the cup a bit, or the mug. It's like, well, as I said, I wasn't entirely thinking clearly.
Son, have you considered that you may be in over your head? He gets up and goes over and shuts the door all the way. Dealing with all these strange folk. I know it can get to me sometimes, working this precinct. Not that I don't have some fine officers, but just the sheer weirdness of it all.
Well, considering my first encounter with what is apparently their ancestral enemy nearly killed me.
Yeah, he nearly killed a couple of good officers too.
I don't know.
Well, in the future, say whatever you need to save somebody. Then come tell us. Let the professionals handle it.
Yes, sir.
I know you'd agreed to keep us in the loop, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming to me today. Like I said, I'm gonna have to write a report about it.
I understand.
So if you haven't talked to your boss, I suggest you go talk to your boss.
That was my next point of contact.
I guess that's all I've got. Just the next time you get a whiff of something weird like this, call, talk to me, leave me a message, something.
Government funding.
Stream went down again, and it keeps like coming back and forth. It's weird.
Yeah, I've seen it dip at least once.
You haven't stuttered in a while though.
No, maybe it's
For
fixing
me, the
itself.
player, I don't know if there's like some kind of law that prevents that or not.
It's the 20s,
Well-
so some of that stuff was starting to become a thing, but might not have been.
Could be like a donation to the precinct of some kind.
That's fair.
Well, it's also like government money, so like they've got infinite money at that point in the government, and nothing is ever going to change that ever.
Infinite money glitch.
He'll get you the information.
Of course.
And he starts going through the paperwork again.
Then he'll leave and go to the DA's office next.
Okay. Let's see. Vivian is in the office.
Once or twice she walked to the door like, should I follow? No. I could totally follow them, though. I could disguise myself and then no.
Where Teak would be going.
She knows enough about the city.
Yeah, she'd be able to find Marduk's place in all likelihood without too much trouble. Not saying she can just rattle the address off the top of her head or anything, but
Lilac! Where's this place at?
So you've been sitting around the office for a bit. Teak's left. You don't know how long his meeting should be. It's not long enough that you're worried any more than you're just already worried about the situation.
And she's not going to go checking the shoreline quite yet.
The phone rings.
She will pick it up. Hello?
You hear clearly a woman's voice. But it's a little muffled. I hear you hunt monsters.
We don't actively go out hunting monsters, but we can definitely assist you in some way. What's the matter?
I have this ogre that likes to wake people up early in the morning.
Feels like a prank call.
Ma'am, if it's merely a domestic issue, I suggest you contact the police.
But it's an ogre. She's huge.
Definitely a prank call.
I understand, ma'am. Most ogres are rather sizable, but if it is a domestic issue as opposed to something more supernatural, the police would be better suited to your needs.
You're no fun at all. You recognize the voice at this point. Whatever she was holding up over her mouth or pinching her nose, whatever she was doing.
That's who?
It's Lilac. It's been another hour or two, so she finally
Thanks,
dragged
Lilac.
herself out of bed.
Are you really that bored, Lilac?
Yeah, kind of. I'm avoiding job hunting at the moment.
I can put in a word maybe with somebody for you. I mean, the diner downstairs may be hiring.
I'll figure something out.
There's a bakery nearby that has both like halfling and sprite size servers as in clientele.
Did I name that place?
What did you really call for aside from avoiding job hunting?
Yeah, bored. Want to see what you were up to.
Not much, really. Everyone has gone off to talk to folks, and I'm holding down the fort.
You didn't let them make you the secretary, did you?
Not intentionally.
Oh.
Well, I'm the only one that didn't go and do something that immediately may require clarification to other people.
Oh, what went down?
A long sword list of things. I'll tell you about it later. Yes, I know, I'm no fun.
Well, as long as you know. I expect to hear from you.
Universally no
I
fun.
expect to hear from you later, though. Or you get all the details later.
I will bring home baked goods to discuss the Sora details over.
All right. Just know you're leaving a very disappointed sprite, and probably and maybe a disappointed operator. I hear they listen in sometimes.
I shall have to sit with that all day.
All right, bye, V.
That's a myth. Click.
Bye, V. Or bye, Lilac.
All right, Teak and Salvador. You a little bit after that call, they get back to the office. That was
Yep.
where you're going, right, Teak?
Yep.
Okay. Vivian, as soon as Teak walks in, you see he's got a fat lip.
Viv, you got any antiseptic?
First aid
Goes
kit.
goes to his filing cabinet, grabs a cup of coffee first, and sits down on his filing cabinet.
Coffee is not. Nope. Coffee is not good for having a welt on your lip.
The heat might do some good. Let him at least have a cup of coffee.
Do you go to try to take it from him?
I'm not taking the coffee away from
Okay.
him. I'm putting
bite ya.
alcohol swab on you.
That's fine, but Teek's holding that coffee.
Yeah, you can have the coffee. I don't give a shit. Just don't drink anything yet.
All right, what happened?
Gonna
You-
burn.
Yep. And Teek will then explain what went down. Spitting on the guy's boot and everything.
Vivian's looking like she's trying to debate if this is something polite for a woman of her status to say, and then just says it. Damn, Teak. How does the Model T carry such steel balls?
Teek is like taken aback by that for a minute.
It is the 20s.
It kind of
Okay.
gives the like cheeky bastard grin, like had to pull you out of it
I mean-
somehow.
I mean, I would have done something worse to him, but it probably wouldn't have helped my situation.
Probably not. You included the part about getting in contact for a meeting.
Contact for a meeting with the group before he makes a decision on meeting with the dwarves.
And before the end of the day, well, we should probably make sure all of us are here, and I'll leave a note at Michael's office. If nothing else, maybe he'll drop by there.
I told him no to Michael's office.
Yeah, that would probably not go well, past confrontations considered. I'll just call and leave a message with Dorothy to have him give us a call if he happens to drop by there. And she'll do that real quick.
Nods, and he flinches away from Salvador, who is still probably like doing first thing. He's like, ah, God.
You can take the hit. You can take the burn.
He just stares at you, but just sits there.
Come on now, you spit on the orc shoes. Don't act like a baby now.
Hey, alcohol is a whole
I'm
different
saying.
thing.
I'm glad that you're mostly unharmed as he's continuing to swap you. I was not too far out, so you were in good hands.
Appreciate it.
Oh, by the way, the dwarves called and are willing to parlay. We just have to set up a time after we, I guess, have a meeting with the orcs.
Well, that's good at least.
Maybe the two of them can go hunting together. Have a little picnic or something.
You see, like after a few minutes, you'll see Teek's ears kind of droop, and then he just frowns for a minute.
Hmm.
Don't worry about it. Just something that it's a little sad, but
Not worrying about it is how we got here in the first place. Come on.
I won't get to see Miss Lillian for a while, if at all.
Have
Why
you
not?
mentioned Lillian to her them before? I'm trying
Nope.
to remember.
I saw him talk to somebody about a Miss Lillian.
Yeah, he like Salvador is the only one who has heard the name.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry, the gremlin brain in me went, quick, hook him up with Lilac.
His ears are still drooped, but he's
Oh, she was the one you were talking about last time. I remember.
yeah. I got to talk to her when I delivered the letter, but she's still in employment with the orc mob, and I'm planning to stay far away for a while once this meeting is over.
She leaves the building, doesn't she? She's not a prisoner.
Yeah, but if I try to call her or send a message, they're going to filter that.
Oh, you don't know that for sure.
He just looks at Vivian.
Little pat pat. Don't give up hope quite yet.
Long sip of coffee.
Meanwhile, Mr. Anderson, have we named your boss yet?
That I guess.
Let me double check, but I don't think so. Mm. Yes. Latham Carlstrom.
Oh, yeah, there it is. DA. Okay. I had written that down. So you pull into work. You get out. People are passing you by. They're greeting you. Sometimes you may not be noticing them.
Yeah.
Or you're just kind of on autopilot,
Mhm.
making general, good morning, how are you?
Yeah.
You get into the DA's office. Your boss is already there.
Mm.
When you first walk in, he's talking to one of the other guys like you, one of the other attorneys,
Mm.
about some case that you're not involved in. Fight at the docks. There's it was like some of the company guys versus some of the workers. 3 or 4 people involved is all. Though you do hear the attorney ask, once they kind of finish whatever the business was, you do hear one of the attorney or you hear that attorney, just kind of casually ask your boss, if he thinks there's actually going to be a strike on the dock at some point. And Carlstrom's, here's strikes going on off and on all over the country. Who knows?
Oh shit, the Pinkertons.
Quick, we can shoot them now and save the timeline.
They'll just
Quick!
hire more. But yeah, your boss, he doesn't sound super hopeful that there won't be a strike. And he sees you now. Oh, Michael. Good morning.
Mr. Carlstrom.
You looking a little down?
I need to speak with you, please.
Oh, this doesn't sound good. Come on into the office. So you go into the office, he shuts the door. He gestures towards the seat.
He like full like body flops into it, just like ugh.
Oh, coffee?
I had a cup at the precinct, but thank you.
Okay. He poured himself one, though. So what's eating you?
What almost ate me last night, but
What's this now? But just start from the beginning. Fill me in.
and he literally walks through that entire night.
Let's watch a movie in words.
Yeah.
To the tapes.
and so to that point, and after speaking with the captain, he advised me to come speak with you, which I was already planning on doing anyway, since the report would have to be filed.
So he's been sitting there holding his coffee this entire time. He hasn't interrupted you. He hasn't gotten emotional. He also hasn't drunk any of the coffee.
Yeah.
Michael, this is a mess. You're on administrative leave. There's going to have to be an investigation. Yeah, you should have gone. You should have gone to the police immediately. But you know that. That's clearly you know that. I don't know what I would have done facing down a monster. I mean, in a physical confrontation. I guess we kind of face down monsters around here occasionally, but
Yeah.
but yeah, the captain had it right. Say what you need to get people out of harm's way, but I mean, I know you don't like to lie or break your word, but he is wanted. There was a partially eaten body under that bridge where he had those kids. And it is our job to bring people like that, to justice. I can't approve of what you did. By the same token, I don't know what I'd have done in that situation other than panic.
And he cut out again.
And he's frozen.
Nay, it was you that was frozen. All right, am I back?
I heard him fine. Yeah, you're back.
All right, what was the last thing you heard the DA saying?
Can't approve of what he did, but by the same token, he doesn't know what he would have done.
All right, other than maybe panic.
Yeah.
It'll have to be.
May I ask how?
Oh, go ahead.
May I ask how long this leave will be?
Depends on how long the investigation takes. I would say a couple of weeks at best, or a couple of weeks at best.
Understood.
We'll have to call in somebody from outside the office. Conflict of interest and all that. Now, I'll speak on your behalf. About your track record, the weirdness of this situation. But I don't know what in the end what will be decided. I'll have to go. Let's see, would it be him that made the decision? Or is there somebody higher up than a CDDA? The decision will be
State,
made at the
maybe?
state level. Yeah, the decision will have to be made at the state level. I would probably lean heavily on the. I was face to face with a 9-foot monster.
With a gun as large as he was?
Yeah, I'd heard something about that. I haven't gotten the official police report in yet. It should be coming today for the incident last night.
Yeah. I saw the autopsy reports from its previous victims. I did not want to be added to that list.
I understand. I understand. Nobody's going to fault you for how you handled the situation when you were face to face with it. Is the after you had time to calm down, or should have calmed down, that you still did not go to law enforcement? We were already short-handed here too. All right.
Yeah.
Before you leave, bring me any files you've got on current cases you're working on. I'll have to pass them around.
The only one I was actively working on was the one that the mayor told us to stop.
Oh yeah, that one.
I had been
and we should
devoting-
say that's the only big one you're working on.
Yeah.
There's day to day, just regular old. Oh, this guy got caught stealing, or
Yeah.
this guy was urinating in public, that kind of thing.
There was 2 thefts and 1 battery.
Okay, that won't be
So-
too hard to spread around then.
I'll bring those to you.
All right. Try not to stress out about it too much, but do be thinking about the sort of questions that you would ask somebody in this situation and how you would want to answer those. And that's probably all the advice I should give.
I understand.
He shakes your hand on the way out. And you're leaving. He calls in a couple of the other attorneys into his office.
Mm.
Probably to explain the basics of the, that you're going to be on leave. They're going to have to be covering, your caseload.
He goes, gets the files, and knocks on the door and brings them.
Okay, yeah, he takes. All the other attorneys are kind of awkwardly like.
And he'll go to the group office.
All right.
So this is how we're gonna break the law.
Breaking the law.
We're not going to break the law. We're going to burn the law to the ground.
Yes.
Salt the ashes.
The law has had it too good for too long.
Sacrifice a tomato.
Now, Teak, I assume you gave the number.
Yep.
Marduk's number.
Yep.
Vivian, are you going to give, now I'm treating Vivian like the secretary. That's not fair. Is anybody going to give Marduk's people a call?
Oh, I think we were waiting until everyone was back to figure out where we're going to arrange that meeting.
So y'all just around chewing the fat or whatever. When Michael finally gets back.
Also, should we let Zoot know what's been going on? We haven't updated the halfling for a while.
I promised I'd let him know. Go call Mr. Zoot first.
All right. Well, you
Coffee
call it the
number
answering
8.
service.
Yeah.
The hotel is saying he doesn't have a phone in his room.
I'll just ask him to give me a call when he can, and then just to keep the story on the rails, I will tell if he calls back. I'll tell him what has been going on so far.
Okay. All right, but Michael walks in, probably looking like somebody just kicked his dog.
That's going around today.
Michael, you walk in, you see
Teak.
Zoot, or not Zoot, you see Teak with a fat lip.
This one has probably gone down a little bit now that there's been alcohol applied to it or peroxide.
That's fair.
It's
That
a
is fair.
freeze.
No,
I don't think I froze.
Mm-mm, didn't freeze for me.
it's still probably a little swollen, but it's gone down a little bit.
Well, I see your talk went well.
Eh,
You heard what he said. He's lucky. The fact that he's still standing here is pretty good.
He just hangs up his jacket and then finds a place to sit down and sort of like flops into the chair.
Yeah, that's going around today.
Well, I suddenly have a lot more time for several weeks.
Mm, I'm sure you'll find something to do.
Yeah, well. I am now under administrative leave and am to be investigated.
Hey, you're getting paid to do nothing.
Probably bucket of guilt, though, for making other people do your work, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Well, the work we have is figuring out where to potentially arrange a meeting with the orcs. According to Teak, they wish to meet with us.
meet with us
Yeah,
before
because
they meet
that's
with the
gonna go
dwarves.
well.
Mm-mm.
I could have Lilac maybe as a lookout, or hey, if we don't walk outside in this amount of time, go to this policeman.
Well, I don't know if this counts as hinky supernatural nonsense that I promise they won't.
No, they can both go solve the problem.
Well, if I want to deal with a family of trolls, be my guest.
Exactly.
They're
Bottom line. Oh, go ahead.
We
they
have any
likely want to
coffee?
know what we know. Uh, do you have any coffee? I'm just like point at Teak, who has a full cup.
Never mind.
They likely want to know what we know, so maybe if we come at this, maybe attacking their pride isn't such a bad idea. Like, I mean, he came back with a welt, and that's not.
I basically called him a fucking idiot to his face. So
Every other
Yes.
experience I've had with their organization is to be believed. They're going to want to come after us at a position of strength.
They agreed. You told us everything, so Salvador would say they agreed to meet.
he
us at
would
the
Teak would have
Boulevard.
repeated it for Michael as well.
Oh, okay. The most, the best idea, the best I have for this is trying to meet in a relatively public space so that they don't get any ideas. Like a park or something.
Meeting in a
Doesn't have to be
public
during the day.
space might also not be a good look for newly minted Beorn of the city meeting with mobs.
Yeah, well, this is we've kind of been handed a few no-win situations, so
I'm going to hazard a guess and say that your former bosses probably suggested my office.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not surprised?
I told him good fucking luck.
Either way,
office. Go ahead.
no matter what happens, we're already going to be on the back foot because of how much of their organization I've helped to put away in my time working with the DA.
Yeah, but a stray glance of an orc mob boss walking into your house after you got put on leave.
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
they'll want
we're
to be
not
here.
meeting
I
in
don't think
my
they'll want to be
office.
here.
We can always ask him if this office is neutral enough. We've been here maybe a week, if even that. It's not like it's big enough to set up any ambushes in.
Not that I can't counter ambush.
Hmm. Nothing for it except for calling them and seeing if this will work for them, or if they have a better suggestion.
Don't give them the option.
I don't want to. I was gonna say I don't want to give them a suggestion. I think if we can get it here, that's our best bet.
All right.
Who wants to do the honors?
Probably not Teak, she says with like a little bit of a grin. No offense, but I think you've said what you need to say to them today.
Oh, I've got plenty more to say, but if someone wants to take
Yeah.
it, that's fine.
I'll do it. He kind of gets up and stretches.
I can
Goes
do it
over
if
what
you
he's gonna
like.
say in his head. I don't want to. This isn't. I don't want to set a precedent of like you being the person that stays back and cleans up our messes.
Trust me, I don't want that precedent either, but I'm good at talking. Allegedly.
He motions. He's like, by all means.
She will ring the number that Teak gave her.
A rough female voice answers.
Hello, this is Vivian. I was given this number by Teak. I would like to speak to Boss Marduk if at all possible.
I'm afraid he is busy at the moment. If this is in regards to the meeting the boss wanted to set up, we
Roboted
can.
really bad for me. I'm sorry.
You did.
Oh, did it? She tells you that the boss is busy at the moment, but if this is in regards to the meeting that he wished to have with your group, with your organization, she'd call it.
Mm-hmm.
She can get that set up.
Yes. Is there a time that works well for him? We have availability at our office the rest of the day, if that is favorable to him.
Okay, and where is your office?
She would rattle it off.
Okay.
It's not as luxurious as his office, I'm sure. Wouldn't be able to bring too many people, but it is
How many of your people will
available. Would this meeting be happening tonight or next week?
be there? We're gonna try to get through it tonight.
Just 4 of us. Others of our
Okay.
group are further indisposed at the moment.
Very well.
Personal life, work, etc.
That address. Oh, you're renting Mickey's old place.
It seemed a bit sentimental and on the nose. It's known for being a place of assistance.
Yeah, I guess it is. The boss has been there before, so I don't see any.
Of course he has.
Don't see any reason he would say no. Obviously I'll have to confirm it. Are you still using Mickey's number?
Yes.
Okay, then we've already got that. And she sets up a time later in the afternoon. This should work. When I run this by the boss, if there's some issue, I will call you back immediately.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Have a good day, man.
You also.
So, at what point in the afternoon were you wanting to meet?
What time is it now? Because I know Teague's meeting was at what? 9 in the
Nine-
morning?
I think it was like
Or
10 or something around there. I thought
something like that.
9 or 10.
It's probably afternoon by now. You know,
yeah, we
there,
could
so.
like say 3, 4 o'clock,
Okay.
whatever time.
Yeah, Michael, after that phone call, is like, probably in the interest of keeping people in the loop, I should probably let the Windburn precinct know that there's going to be mobsters here, just in case.
You can let them know after
Don't
the fact.
invite them to the meeting.
Not to the meeting. I don't know.
I think it's best to let them know after, not before.
Yeah, that's what happened last time, and we see how it ended.
I meant immediately after. I don't mean wait a week for for things to go down.
Look, I told them I would keep them in the loop about things that are happening. Especially after what happened last night. He kind of reinforced that.
Maybe frame it as you are going to have a meeting with them, and any additional information you discover, you would pass on to them.
It always worded as preventing a war between two mafia teams.
It's not wrong.
Well, I could use the phone then.
Motions to it.
Maybe I
Yours
can
as
do
much as
something
mine.
right this week.
You got this, buddy.
And he will call the precinct.
Okay. The captain secretary answers. You know, Windburn precinct. Captain. What's his face?
I actually don't have a name for him yet, I don't think.
Let's see. Jacob Handelson was the.
That was the elf.
Yeah.
It's
Detective
just the
Myers
captain.
was the detective.
Like, it's the doctor, it's the captain.
Yeah, we never gave the captain a name.
Be back in a second.
Let's see. Really gotta organize these names better. It'll be Davis. Anyway, she identifies the precinct. Captain Davis's office. How can I help you?
Sorry to keep bothering the captain. This is Mr. Anderson. May I speak with him again?
I'll see if he's available. And just a little bit later, there's a click.
I see a doggy.
It's a blurry doggy though.
You do see a doggy.
And you hear, "This is Davis. What can I do for you, Mr. Anderson?"
So I was interested in keeping you informed of things.
Something else already? But yes, please. I appreciate it.
I was informed. So what we were going to be attempting to do, before everything happened, was try to negotiate a ceasefire between the dwarves and the orcs.
I see.
However, with everything that went down, one of my compatriots has informed me that the orcs are demanding to meet with us first before agreeing to anything now.
Hmm. Ah, so they know about the troll as well.
Considering it was their people involved, yes.
Do you feel like you're in danger?
Considering my past history with them, it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know. I just, considering everything that went down, figured keep you in the loop about what's happening.
When is this meeting supposed to be taking?
Michael is a listening device. Eidetic memory.
She's not wrong.
Well, it's just if he said anything incriminating, that would be awfully useful for us.
Mm.
On the other hand, this meeting is about the troll. His people could always claim self-defense. I mean, not that any of them that confronted the thing are still alive. But,
See. Well, there is a diner below our office if some off-duty officers wish to have a bite to eat.
I bet some of the guys would be hungry by then. And you were set up in Mickey's old spot, right?
Correct, yes.
I know we've got that address right here somewhere. But the recorder we could set the recorder we could set up is it's remarkably small.
If this is on speakerphone, Vivian's like shaking her head like, we're already like, this could already go very badly.
Considering how tense this meeting is probably going to be, the recording device itself might not be a good idea.
Give me a persuade roll to see if you can kind of talk him out of this course of action.
Okay. Persuade. There it is.
Okay, all right. He lets the recording thing drop. He sounds a little disappointed, but he lets it drop.
I apologize, Captain.
Gonna get us shot.
I want to keep any violence to a minimum, if at all possible.
All right. Well, I'll have some plainclothes officers in the diner. If anything gets, if this meeting gets violent, they'll be there to help.
Thank you, sir.
Let's see, you said 4. Okay. That'd be it. Thank you for calling. Afterwards, let me know how this meeting went. I feel a little funny letting civilians try to mediate something like this, but we don't want a gang war. So if you can get the orcs and the dwarves to calm down, well, you've got my support for that.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so he hangs up.
How'd that go?
Well, I talked him out of bugging the place.
Probably a good thing in case they tap the line. I just thought of that.
However, around 4 o'clock, there's apparently going to be a few hungry off-duty officers wanting to eat at the diner.
As long as they stay in the diner, it's no issue.
Yeah.
Although he did appreciate me reaching out to inform him about what's happening. So
If we can keep everyone playing nice, let's do it.
you can try.
I'm gonna die hard my pistol tape it underneath the chair that I'm gonna be sitting in.
You know, the office is a little short on chairs.
Yeah.
Are there any
And I
just
have this
empty
one.
offices nearby?
Mm-mm-mm.
Or chairs just out in the hallway?
If y'all want to spend the next hour or so checking any unrented offices for chairs, you can.
Hey, we can just do it while we're like, okay, how are we going to go about this?
Hey, Michael, they're about to all
Teak-
go steal a bunch of chairs.
Teak is
Borrowing. We will return them when we're done.
I think Teak has
Assuming they're still in
probably
the
got like
keys.
a lockbox in his Model T. He's gonna bring that up so that people can put their guns in that, including the mafia boss. It's still gonna be in the room, but Teak's gonna sit on it.
It's one of those. It's one of those swingers parties, except instead of keys, it's guns.
I hate all of that.
In like an oversized candy bowl.
Yeah.
And all of it is suckers.
There's no pineapple on the door. Stop it.
Has to be upside down.
There's a reference I'm missing here, but okay.
I'm
boy,
missing the
this-
Summer
pineapple.
child.
And then I'll leave like my duffel bag under my seat as well.
Looking like while they're chair hunting. I'm assuming we're going with an honesty is the best policy here thing, correct?
It's the way I try to live my life.
Teak,
We'll see
you
how far it gets it.
do they appreciate honesty or
I mean, whenever I was with them, I never told them a lie,
All right.
even if it meant throwing another orc under the bus or the Model T.
fair enough?
Yes, sir. Are you gonna have me roll something?
Give me an ideal roll. Oh man, I keep hitting all your bad stats. Oh, well.
Yep, normal.
It is what it is. Yes, normal.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Success anyway.
There you go.
So yes, orcs appreciate people being honest with them. This does not make them necessarily honest themselves.
Exactly.
They appreciate boldness to a certain point. You know, you gotta show them. You gotta show them you have some spine. Whimpering and begging is probably gonna make things worse for you.
He'll explain that to the group.
Yeah. You know, now if they think you're acting too bold, then they have this urge to put you in your place. But it's like a fine line of, you know.
You got to tread it pretty well.
Yeah. They do not appreciate weaklings.
Be strong, but don't get, you know,
Don't get cocky.
disrespectful. Yeah.
Don't spit on their shoes.
He didn't do that to the boss. He did that to his minion.
Before the meeting, she'd go down and maybe they only have like one coffee maker up here, right? Just
Yes.
she'd see about getting some coffee from downstairs or at least some water.
Okay.
She doesn't think orcs might be like a big finger food type of person, so just something to drink.
Maybe if it's actual fingers. Then.
Ooh, an eyeball.
Things made to look like fingers, you know. The tiramisu has actual lady fingers in it.
Oh God.
tiramisu.
Mm.
Give me a spot as you go into the diner.
Sure.
Ooh,
Critical
look at that.
success.
Oh, very nice.
Your eyes are
Mhm.
open. What do your elven eyes see, Vivian?
Too much. Entirely too much.
Thank you, Legolas.
So you walk in, diner's decently busy. You immediately realize there's some tension in this diner.
Are the cops being obviously, hello, fellow youths?
So the people that you immediately identify as cops, they're dressed in plain clothes. They're all kind of sitting together. And if you had just walked, knowing there were supposed to be some cops here, if you had just walked in, them being the biggest group, you might have guessed they were cops. On the opposite side of the diner, there are 4 orcs, just casually sitting around.
Yep.
Yeah.
And both groups are kind of,
Uh-oh.
Stare downing?
Giving each other the eyes.
yeah. There's some tension there. You don't know if they've made the cops as cops, or if it's just that the cops, were mean mugging them, and now there's a mutual mean mugging going on. And there's a smattering of what you assume are probably the regulars sitting around. Most of
They're just
them
like-
seem to just be going about their business like normal. 1 or 2 of them seem to realize that there's something, they're like quickly finishing their food, like they're trying to get out quick. And the lady at the counter is like watching everybody, kind of.
We're gonna have to get this lady a medal or something.
Braver than our troops.
But you walk in. She's like, oh yeah, hi honey, what can I get you?
We're gonna be working a bit up there. I was just wondering if I could borrow just a pot of coffee or a pitcher of water or something.
Let's see. She knows you work in the building now.
I'll of course pay for it and bring it back down, no problem.
Yeah, if you're willing to leave a 50-cent deposit, on the pot.
She will leave a full $1 deposit.
Oh, well. You have convinced the lady that you were coming back for this. Or coming back with this. So yeah, she gets you a pot of coffee.
Thank you so much.
It'll be back in pieces as we used to crack the orc guy's skull.
Anyway.
So she left $1.
Uh,
It's like, just in case, in her mind, just in case it gets used as a weapon on somebody, by somebody.
uh,
Do you have? I hate to bother. Do you have any additional mugs too? We're still getting the office set up, and there's only 2 mugs to go between 4 people, and we're friends, but we're not that friendly.
We just got through Spanish flu. This isn't happening again.
She grabs you. What she does is give you a little stack of foam cups.
Thank you so much.
Or paper cups. Whichever one they had in the 20s. I know they had one or the other.
Probably foam.
Mm-hmm.
One of the 2.
But she doesn't charge any extra for those.
You're a saint, and may
Yes.
all good things come to you.
She just laughs like you're exaggerating.
Paper cups.
They came about because of the Spanish flu, it looks like.
Yeah, it makes a certain amount of sense.
Yeah.
1887 to 1972.
Trains and stuff, they used to have like a communal water thing, which is one big scoop that everybody would use to drink out of. I think tuberculosis got rid of those.
We can only hope.
On your way out, you notice both of those groups have been watching you since you walked in.
just does her general putting on the I'm dealing with people face, just charming smile at anyone that makes eye contact
Okay.
with her.
And they're not staring at you super obviously, but you rolled a crit. You're picking up on the little stuff.
Yeah, she's not going to go out of her way to look at him, but just if any of them happen to get bold enough to make eye contact, just
Yeah.
smiles back at him. Gets back
So you get
upstairs.
back up, you know.
Yeah, everyone's there already.
And you've been back about 15 minutes when there's a knock on the door.
Eek opens it.
Boss Marduk is there. He's got 3 people with him.
And he holds out his hand.
Marduk raises his eyebrow.
Weapons.
Are you
He
unarmed?
looks at the chest.
Are all of you unarmed?
Teak would have
Yeah.
made sure that everyone's weapon was in the chest before.
What about the one Salvador was going to tape under his seat?
Doesn't say anything about it.
Maybe we would point at the very dainty-looking pistol in the thing.
Okay, but the other weapon, your weapons are in the chest at this point. Other than
Yes,
the one
everybody else's
Salvador
weapons are in the chest, and he physically has it open so they can see the weapons are there.
How big is the lockbox? Because I can put the duffel bag over there too, so that they know nothing.
Yeah.
Like his rifle isn't there. His rifle isn't on him.
It's probably like it had to fit in the back of a Model T, so it's probably not big enough for your gun, but it's big enough for everyone else's like pistols and stuff.
I don't know. At least
So it
2
could just be in a
adults can
closet.
sit comfortably in a Model T. So you know.
Yeah.
Then he'll have had the rifle in a
Okay.
closet then.
All right.
Vivian, like, it's not very impressive, but there it is.
One of the guards takes his pistol out, sets it down,
Mhm.
and then he steps into the room and gives the room a looking over.
Yep.
He doesn't like pat you guys down, but he looks you over like he's looking at his, for that kind of bulge or somebody that's got a gun under their suit or
I will. So what Salvador will do is he'll bring his shirt down, and where there's a holster, there's no gun in it.
The guy gives you a nod. But does he notice anything weird about your chair? Unlikely, because he's not really getting down.
I was gonna say there's real. I don't think that's
Well, it's more of what he think to look kind of thing.
okay.
As he's
That
giving
movie
them a
hasn't
quick.
even come out yet.
Technically, Teak's treating them like they treat him when they go in. So
Yeah.
So he seems satisfied. He gives the nod. The other guards walk in and set their guns down. Boss Marduk comes in.
Teak closes the lockbox and actually sits on it. Leans up against the wall, crosses his arms.
Marduk takes a seat. All of his guys just sort of, back to a wall.
Vivian kind of internally cracks her neck. Like,
Yep.
I appreciate you taking time to speak with us today. I understand this isn't the best of situations to meet under, but I appreciate your time.
Well, I'm here for answers.
And you'll have them.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. Especially you, Mr. Anderson. I don't believe we've ever met in person before.
Not in person, but your organization has been known to me for a while.
Oh, I'd imagine. But that's business. That's normal business, not anything to do with today. I need to know why you heroes of the city were trying to help a troll that has killed my people and some of the dwarves. Why you were trying to help it out of the city.
To prevent further bloodshed.
I would have thought Mr. Anderson would want to prosecute a murderer. A cannibal, for that matter.
Kind of
Well, I was attempting to save the lives of several children at the time.
Mm-hmm. None of the men at the mechanic shop saw any children around.
I sent them to the precinct.
Like I said, on why you were let something that had been killing my people go,
Stream
and
down
why I
again.
should have any dealings with you.
Oh, now it's back. Every time I say
From here
that,
on
it
out.
just comes back.
Because I was operating under misinformation.
And what was that misinformation?
When we parlayed with the troll to arrange for the safe return of the children, it spoke rather convincingly to the fact that both you and the doors were the aggressors in this instance. As such, the reason why, in part, I had arranged to try and get it to leave the city, foolishly, admittingly, is I wanted to prevent further bloodshed and an escalation of violence.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Okay.
See how convincing you are.
Noise.
All right, success.
Mm.
All right, so he got an odds his head.
can attest to the fact that it had gained police attention, which I'm sure neither one of you, being the orcs or the dwarves brewing, would have wanted further eyes on you.
No, that's true. There's a reason we don't tend to get noisy if we can help it.
All the more reason let have the troll leave the city and never come back is to avoid more noise.
Still, I lost a lot of people to that thing. I feel like I'm owed a favor.
Tig chuckles.
I don't know what it'll be. But undoubtedly, I'll find some use for good folks like you. Now, if you refuse, when this time comes to ask for this favor, if you refuse, there will be consequences. But for the time being, I'll accept your excuses.
Not to seem rude, but may there be a few stipulations on this favor. No outright murder. Nothing outside of our realm of abilities.
That seems
Seemed
fair.
pretty pointless to give us. But it seemed pretty pointless to give us something that we can't do.
Yeah. And as far as the outright murder, he tells you it would be foolish of me to demand something that I know you flat out, that there's no chance you would do. Well, no chance that some of you would do. But then that's acceptable.
Say Michael from his corner. You're damn right.
We all have our skills. Any part of a good working relationship is knowing the skills of each other.
Indeed. And you're certain that this troll has left the city?
Yes.
Would Michael have said anything about what the police had said to him?
Oh yeah.
Michael spoke with the police earlier, and apparently the troll not only put one of the officers in the hospital, but took out a few vehicles on his haste to get out of town. They lost him on the back roads.
Good. Since we're doing stipulations, let me add something. If you hear of this thing coming back into town, let me know immediately.
You'd be the first one to know.
Very good, then. Now, about this meeting with the dwarves. Have you heard back from them?
Yes, they are open to a meeting. They just are waiting for a time and a place. We, of course, would like to keep it on neutral ground. So, while the office isn't large, it is a neutral ground.
Well, both of us could leave our muscle out in the hallway. Be me
The
and
diner
whoever
has
they
a
send in here with a
The
couple
diner
of
has a
you.
wonderful cheeseburger.
I feel the diner would be a little too public.
Oh no, but if
Oh,
you wish
no.
to bring any additional men, there's a spot they could wait.
Oh, that's good to know.
You're gonna have to pay this diner owner a fucking fortune.
He's
V
getting so
V
much
kind of
business. He's fine.
V kind of knowing that they were down there, and it's traveled by all types, so no one would be considered out of place.
Might do that.
We do ask don't get too rowdy in the diner. The woman seems generally polite and well-meaning.
My men know how to behave themselves.
I expect they do.
Teak, you're perfectly aware that knowing how to behave themselves and actually behaving
And
themselves
actually
are not
doing-
always the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Teek's just like shaking his head. I'm assuming
sh-
I don't know if Boss Marduk is like sitting to where he could see Teek, but Teek's just like leaning back and just
I'm sure if everyone minds their manners, folks will return the favor.
And
In
Marduk
general.
could see you, Teak. He doesn't seem to be paying any attention to you, though.
it's fine.
One of his guys just kind of keeps looking at you like, you know.
Guy's a
The
fucking
sheer fucking hubris.
Yeah. And if Teek notices him, he'll just stare back.
Like dead
Wide toothy
crocodile.
grin.
Yeah, he's looking at you like what the hell, man?
Is the guard that slapped him here?
Yes, that is not the one that is making a bunch of eye contact with him, though.
But that guy is here.
Yeah, he's one of the guys in the room.
Okay.
His
Does
shoes-
Teek know the
Not
guard
gonna
that's looking at him like what the hell?
in passing. You know,
Okay,
he's
just-
somebody that's familiar enough with you that he's just recognizing this shift in attitude for sure.
Yep. Teek's just looking at him with a wide toothy grin.
But anyway, back to Marduk, who's pretty much ignoring Teak, but he's talking to the other three. You said they were waiting on a time.
Yes, is there a time that works best for you?
We can meet up tomorrow. Better to get this done quickly.
Exactly.
I think realizing that you've had a common enemy the whole time will make things go over even smoothly.
Well, neither of us want a war, and since this is clearly not something either of us was starting, it would be nice if we had a dead troll to show them as proof, but perhaps police reports will do. And he kind of looks at Anderson.
Administrative leave. Womp womp.
Out of game. It's like that the favor?
No, it's a requirement for what you want at this meeting, next meeting. But yeah, he can agree to tomorrow, you know, high noon, here at your office.
20
How dramatic.
paces.
I don't think we have that much room.
We have to use
Like
the hallway
a
outside.
5x5.
Knocking all the neighboring businesses. Hey, we're about to
Really
have a shootout out
small.
here. Nobody stick their head out the door.
Just
We can
Really
see
imagine,
straight down the
like,
hallway, so the side room should be fine.
I just imagine down the hallway for every orc, there's a dwarf on the other side of the hallway, and someone just coming into the office one day and just sees this line. It's like,
I'm gonna go back downstairs.
I'm gonna go get a
Yeah.
coffee.
It's a good idea.
Will that be all, Marduk?
Are any further
Uh,
questions you may have?
Oh, how many people to bring? This, that, and the other. You know, y'all hash out the meeting. You know, he'll have some of his people down in the diner. He assumes the brewers will have some down there. You know, he'll bring 2 guys with him up here who will then stay in the hallway, assuming that the brewers agree to the same sort of setup. You know, they'll basically be relying on you guys to be, you know, security.
Seems reasonable.
Seems like a reasonable set of terms that they should agree with no problem.
Yeah, that's all I can think of. So he tells you he has places to be. He will see you tomorrow. Obviously, just call. You know, if the dwarves throw some wrinkle in this, just call and let us know.
Of course. Knowing what she does about orcs, considering background and stuff, would shaking hands be appropriate? Yada yada yada.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much a human thing, but
Universal.
Everybody's pretty well adopted that one.
Okay, she will extend a hand to shake his.
All right. Mr. Anderson, Mr. Salvador,
Marduk.
and he turns and leaves. Well,
Hops
first
off
his
the
guys
chest
walk
and-
over to get their guns.
Oh yeah, T cops off the chest and hands them their guns back.
Okay. And they head on out.
That went better than expected.
Salvador gets the gun from under his seat and holsters it.
Does the orc who's been like, what the hell, man, like kind of like look at Teak or say anything to him before he leaves?
We'll say he's the last one out.
Okay.
You know, he lets the other 2 grab their guns first, and you know, then they're going out. And Marduk's behind him as he's getting his, and he just sort of whispers to you, "There's bold, and then there's brash. Be careful not to cross that line."
He puts the guns in his hand and he says, "And I'm no longer in service to him. Have a good day." And he walks
Okay.
away.
Plenty of people that don't work for him are respectful. So that's all I'm saying.
Oh no, I still respect him. Before he walks by, I still respect him. But that was still an idiotic move. And he just continues walking past it.
All right. So y'all make it through that fine.
Teak will hand everybody their guns back.
Vivian puts her
Well.
tiny little gun somewhere.
Maybe that listening device would have been useful after all, since he just basically admitted to coercion.
Yes, but if
Would've
they'd
been-
found it, it would have been very awkward to explain.
Would have been awful optics.
All I'll
Bring
say
the
is
dwarfs.
let's be careful what we say over the phone for a while.
Naturally.
Never know who's getting something under the table.
On that note, shall we call the dwarves? Already picking
Let's-
up the phone.
Nope.
Have
Go
at it.
ahead. I'm
All
gonna
right,
get
so you
work
call
ready.
this pawn shop,
Mhm.
or at least you call the number you've got, and when the guy answers, he identifies as the pawn shop.
Yes, I was wanting to arrange a meeting to discuss some antiques tomorrow, perhaps. This is Vivian. I believe we spoke with someone earlier.
You may have spoke with Mr. Wolf earlier.
Yes, I believe that was his name.
Let me just transfer your call.
Thank you so much.
And then a little click of stuff changing, and then a minute later, this is Mason Wolf.
Mr. Wolf, I believe we had spoke about potentially arranging to see some antiques tomorrow, if you were available.
Oh yes, we did speak earlier, didn't we? What time is good for you?
Oh God, they said noon.
Noon,
Yeah,
high noon.
The party that was also interested in the antiques agreed to noon if that was a good time for you as well.
that'll be fine. That will be fine. Might even talk
They're
about
going
some
to be
interesting
bringing
news I've seen in the paper.
they're going to be bringing a couple of experts in the field um, as well, if you would like to bring some of your own. It's a small office, so no more than 2, if possible.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, hmm. I
But there
might.
is a diner downstairs if you had plans before or after with more people.
No, I believe I understand.
You roboted a little bit there for me.
He just
Not
goes,
the
I believe I
robot.
understand.
Fantastic. Then I look forward to seeing you and your associates tomorrow at noon.
We will be there. I look forward to seeing you then.
Who knew all those detective books would have been useful?
Me legitimately making a note of Vivian talked to the dwarves entirely an illusion about an antique showing.
Teague just said be careful what you say on the phone, so
Palms can be greased.
And now Vivian has proven that maybe she should be the one on the phone most of the time.
she does have a background in espionage.
Oh yeah.
Espionage and business.
Forgot about that. All right. So y'all put in a good day's work.
It's been a long day.
It has.
Today's been a long week.
I'm asleep here.
No, you are not. I will put you up in a hotel before I let you sleep in the office. There's nowhere in this office that is comfortable.
No, that filing
Well,
cabinet's kind of comfy.
Teague.
you can go to my place. I've got one of those like pull out couches.
Works for me. He just doesn't want to go home tonight.
That's fair.
Glancing over Michael, do we need to tell the officers about the meeting immediately?
I think
And
after the fact it's going to be
Considering
best.
there was a very heavy-handed
Present.
suggestion that we have the reports about what happened with the troll. Probably. I'll go talk to him.
I was gonna say I'll leave that one to your expertise. I'm gonna make sure he
Just-
has a place to sleep.
May want to tell them not as many this time.
Yeah, they were a little obvious. I don't think the orcs made them as anything other than maybe just a bit rude, but they were both
Yeah.
staring at each other very heavily.
All right. I'm gonna go get a burger. Oh, also, if I don't
You gotta
show up tomorrow, I've been kidnapped. And he leaves.
Yeah, well.
Wait,
Let's get a let's get a yeah. Let's get a milkshake on the way, Teak.
yeah, I'm gonna have to return this picture.
We all say we're leaving, and then we all end up in the same
And you
spot.
never thought to offer them any coffee when they were there.
It was on the table, so the offer
It
was
was an empty.
implied.
It was an empty pot. They're just there to use as a weapon.
We were busy looking for chairs. We didn't have time to make the coffee and actually put it in the pot.
All right, so you return the pot, no problem there. You get your $1 back. Both those groups are gone when you get there.
Oh, okay.
I hope they didn't follow each other out.
Michael, you go down there and get a burger.
Mm.
Now, were you going to go talk to the captain in person or give him a call?
He's gonna go in person,
Okay.
considering
We need
Teak's
to stop
warning.
meeting like this.
All right, so we're going to get through this fairly quickly, get this wrapped up, so we only have the meeting next week to deal with. So you swing by there. He is at the station. You know, as soon as you walk in, the desk sergeant's like, you know, the captain would like to speak with you.
He's literally walking in, burger in hand.
Uh,
I don't know if anybody else followed him, but
No.
Vivian would come just for moral support.
Okay.
And she doesn't want to have to quite tell Lilac everything yet.
fair.
but
I will say, just to see, I will try to turn on aura detection during the walk, considering he had, somebody following him from his house earlier that day.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Nope.
But anyway, you get ushered in there. You know, the captain tells you, yeah, his men reported in, that nothing happened. You know, he asked you how the meeting went.
Well, managed to keep the violence down.
No, that's good. Was there any violence?
Well, considering one of his guards checked the place, I am both glad and disappointed that there actually wasn't a listening device. Because there was a very heavy-handed comment about how we now owe him a favor, and if we try to refuse the favor, there will be severe consequences.
We made sure it's not going to be outright murder.
Yeah, that would have been a nice thing to have on tape. On the other hand, him finding it could have gone poorly.
Yeah.
Did he agree to talk to the dwarves?
He did. We have a meeting at noon tomorrow.
Excellent. At Mickey's at your office.
Yes. At Vivian's office.
It's the group's office.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep you in the loop as much as I can.
I appreciate that. And if you can calm this thing down between these two groups, well, that's just good for the city.
On the plus side, while he did mention us not completing this favor would be bad, that could potentially lead him into your all's hands.
Something to keep in mind. But you came here to see me in person instead of calling. Was there something else you needed?
No, I was, one of my companions has left that life behind, and I was informed via his past experience elsewhere that there's no telling who might be listening in. So I figured it'd be safer to come in person.
Yeah. Well, they'd have to tap your specific phone to be able to listen in. They've got they've got some security at Bell. Law enforcement can tap a phone that way. Go to the main phone interchange.
Mhm.
But I guess anybody could be bribed. I won't criticize you for an overabundance of caution anyway. He starts standing up. Was there anything else you needed?
No, that was it. I just wanted to make sure you were kept in the loop as what I agreed to do.
All right. All right, so y'all head on out. Salvador, you and Teak get back to your place without any trouble.
Also, Michael does tell Vivian why he mentioned if I don't show up tomorrow, I've been kidnapped. Is so basically someone was waiting outside of my house and followed me for a little while this morning.
Did you recognize it? She does know about his family background, so she will ask, could it be your family?
After this long? Hope not.
Power shift could have happened. Who knows?
There's no telling. My brother was often extremely ambitious, brash, and headstrong. My sister was always the more cunning, intellectual thinker of the three of us. Me being the youngest.
If you get kidnapped or don't show up, I'll let the police know, and maybe we can talk the dwarves and the orcs into helping find you. Bit of a sarcastic smile at that.
Yeah, well, considering the reputation of my family.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be great if they turned over some new leaf and are just trying to find me and then reach out later. I'd be ecstatic.
They could just send a card.
That's not my sibling's style.
Hopefully they don't send any horse heads or anything.
Rachel would do that.
Fantastic.
That reference makes
Great.
no sense in the 20s.
Yeah.
It
I'm calling
doesn't,
you out
but
on that.
the vibe.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Rachel would do that. Adam would just as soon just show up himself.
Well, if anyone shows up, I don't know, maybe sleep at your office? Well, they would show up there too.
Yeah.
Maybe you,
That's just
Salvador, and
me.
T could have a slumber party.
I'll just go home.
Bed's big enough for two.
If it is the
Snuggle pile.
orcs, then it can't
He
look like I'm
curled up.
afraid of going home, can I?
Fair enough. Don't don't punch anyone or spit on someone's boots. I think they're gunning for Teak a little bit from that.
Former, I might not be able to promise the latter. I hadn't planned on it.
Thumbs up.
All right, so y'all go y'all separate ways.
Mhm.
Michael, you get home. Nothing weird going on.
Mhm.
Vivian, we'll stop for baked goods on the way home.
You get home. Lilac's there. She's got a map of the city spread out on the table, studying it.
Planning bus routes?
Sort of. I've got some courier work.
Hmm.
Probably temporary sort of thing, but
It never hurts to put your best foot forward.
yeah. And I'm familiar with the main roads around here, but I thought I'd brush up on some of the smaller ones. Figure out the shortest way to get anywhere. Kind of the opposite the opposite that you'd do if you were a taxi driver.
Sets a baked good down next to her. Joins her looking at the map.
She seems to be studying mostly the let's see, Windburn, and kind of the southern part of Middleton, maybe.
Anything in particular you're looking for? You're looking pretty intent at that area.
Well, that's where we're based out of, so it's kind of
Oh, there's more of you? Or a group of you?
well, it's a courier service. Is hiring me temporarily.
Oh, what's the
Oh yeah, you were
name
supposed
of
you were supposed to tell me all about what was going on today.
it? No. What's the name of the courier service? Then I talk. She's like trying to scope if Lilac's trying to do anything sneaky. They know each other's background.
Abby Shore's couriers.
Insight.
This feels like this would have been opposed something.
Nice talk.
Let's see, where did I put Lilac?
She knows Lilac will steal stuff if she has to, so she's just trying to make sure Lilac's not getting into more trouble.
All right, what did you get?
Rolled a 28. I got a success.
All right. She seemed to have to think for a minute before she came up with that name.
Roboted a bit there.
She had to think for a minute before she rattled off the name.
Lai, you'd tell me if you were doing anything less than above board, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
if it's rent you're worried about, I can pay rent. You're good. You've helped me out
I
plenty
am
of
not a
times.
leech. I will
I
pay
know
my
it's
own
not a
way.
leech if I'm offering it. You've had my back plenty of times.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's just that's just buddy stuff.
Still, it's not me wanting to do a charity case or anything like that. You're my best friend. And I just don't want you getting in trouble for something you don't deserve.
No, this shouldn't be anything to be any trouble.
Promise?
She crosses her heart. Now,
Alright.
tell me everything.
A couple of bites of this baked good before she starts.
Yeah. Lilac tears a big chunk off of one.
Yeah. She'll start like talking while making tea and everything. She'll be fairly vague about the dealing with the orc mob. She's not going to go into detail. She'll, yeah, Teak punched a guy and spit on his boots, and we talked to the mob.
He didn't punch
and
anybody.
Got punched by a guy.
There you go. Teak would be in even more shit if he had.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, all right, so you give her the rundown. Salvador and Teak, you get to Salvador's apartment without any trouble. Walking up to your door, Salvador, you see You see your neighbors.
Okay.
The lady, the one that Miss Penrose, the landlady, was banging on their door.
Yes. Yep.
You see the wife opening the door. The husband looks like he's been in a fight. Like Teak had a little bit of a fat lip. This guy's got busted nose. One of his eyes is already starting to blacken a little bit.
Oh, hold on. And he has like a little rucksack that he keeps with him. He like has a little alcohol thing and some swabs. It's like, oh, what happened here? He's already pulling it out, getting ready.
The guy turns. Salvador, right?
Yeah. I don't think I caught your name, and he's already applying first aid. Do not resist.
No, really, I'm okay. He's got a little bit of tissue shoved up his nose.
No, you're not.
Yeah. I was down. Just recently just got hired at the docks, and there was a bit of a scuffle down there. Some of the guys were talking about going on strike, and I've just got this job. I'm really not looking to just stop working.
It happens.
There was some name calling. Somebody called me a scab, and I got punched. He looks like he got punched a few times.
Says like more than once. What did you say your name
But
was?
there was more than one of them. Lewis. He just gave you his first name, Lewis.
Yeah. Lewis, this seems like more than one punch, but fair enough if there was more than one.
He's like, there was a few of them.
But spill a bottle of antiseptic. Hey, those are expensive.
You hear the little flutter of wings as Myrtle rounds the corner. Oh, hello, Mr. Salvador. And
Hi.
she looks at Teak. Did we meet? You were at the party. Oh, you work with Mr. Salvador.
Hello.
This is Teak. Teak. This is Miss Primrose.
Please call me Myrtle. She shakes you. She offers her hand to shake if you.
And he shakes it and says, "Pleasure to meet you, ma'am."
And she's on the
Salvador's
larger
picking up
sides for a fairy.
Salvador's picking up his alcohol bottle and swabs and closing it, and like, I didn't lose too much of it at least.
Myrtle's just kind of looking at you.
Oh,
I'm making a mess of my floors, are you?
I'm not intentionally trying. One of the neighbors got into a scuffle at the docks, so
They're in there.
First aid. I'm not telling you one way or the other, ma'am, but you can check.
Right. You didn't tell me anything. She gives a real. So you and Teak slip into your room, and she's banging on the door.
You can enjoy that. You can enjoy that for the next couple hours, Teak.
Teak just is watching this and sees this bang bang bang. He just starts following Salvador.
You do not want to be hit by that rolling pin.
I was just about to say,
have you been?
Salvador, that you realize he's not getting the full effect because she doesn't have the rolling pin with her.
It's like, wait, rolling pin? What are you talking? Wait,
she doesn't have it on her. You don't want to get hit by it. Come on, it hurts.
Have you been hit by it?
I don't want to say in front of her.
Okay.
You've never been hit by it, Salvador. You pay your rent on time.
I know.
All right, so we'll wrap here. With everybody settling down for a good night's sleep. I'm sure nobody is tossing and turning all stressed out.
No.
I mean, Teak's 8 cups of coffee in. He ain't sleeping tonight.
Teak is
laying in bed,
phasing through
Joe.
reality.
Well, I hope y'all had fun today.
Yeah. Connection issues.
I certainly had fun running it, other than connection issues. Which I just saw myself drop down to the red. Can you still hear me?
We can hear you now.
All right.
Yep.
So anyway, I was saying connection issues aside, I had fun. Hope anybody that came by and watched enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us next week. Hopefully we'll have a few more players.
And better connection.
Hopefully. But anyway, again, I was your GM for the evening, Jason. And with me tonight has been Sarah playing Vivian, Eric playing Michael, Jeremy playing Salvador, and Carr playing Teak. And we will see y'all next time.
So tread with care and heed the sign. Abomination, Ali's line. For in the night the shadows grow, and take with them your trouble